Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're taking a look at the live versions of the battle mission from Street Woman Fighter Season 2. So I do know that there are multiple facets to how the criteria works. We have a Section A, a Section B, and a Section C, each with different requirements, and so for this, we're going to be taking a look at each crew's individual sections. I'm pretty pumped about it. It's going to be great. I've already analyzed A and C from all crews, gave my thoughts there. If you're curious, I'll tag them below in the corresponding sections of these videos. Definitely intrigued at some of the results I've already been hearing about, but I'll get into that whenever I get into the analysis. Let's go ahead and get started.
완성도 채워 왔나? 제대로 했을 것 같은데? 내가 쿨하는 거 보셨잖아요. 칼맞춤 완전 자신 있어서.
Okay, so they have to do Mannequeen's track, and what Mannequeen did was wild to this track. That was really fun. That was really clean. I'm glad they hit that.
It looks cleaner already.
Yeah.
맞춰왔어, 합.
And then we got the Sarah kick again. Love that. Very strong. I really do like that. But it's a Vogue element. And that's a dig at their yeah, that's a dig at their K-pop challenge. And how they're warming up. Yep. That was much cleaner than what they did in the camera version. That was really important that they did that clean.
이번에 진짜 보여드릴게요. 마네킹이 얼마나 최강 배틀러 팀인지.
With the hoop, let's see how this goes. It was incredible what they did.
아, 진짜 잘한다.
잘한다.
와, 진짜 깔끔하다 그냥.
아니 미쳤어.
I would say Sarah wasn't quite as stable during her section like she could have been. That we saw her in her 1v1, but she just battled. Remember that? Yeah. That was cool. Oh, she got caught a little bit there. Yeah.
원밀보다 마네킹이 더 섹시하다.
그러니까 원밀보다 진짜로 원밀보다 마네킹이 더 섹시해.
와 섹시하다 진짜.
I love the attention everybody is focused on the screen. Yeah! Very tense there. Love that. Come on. Nice. Very strong. I was very worried for them about that hoop choreo, but I'm so glad that they nailed it way better here. Like they nailed it better than my expectations of what it was. Okay, so let's dial it back. I think 1MILLION did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to be clean for this section right here because they were not clean as much in their first section. Very much more powerful here. I'm going to say the same exact note that I said when I analyzed the choreography just with the camera. I really feel that they were diving too much into Vogue when it was more, Mannequeen really focuses more on whacking. They are two different styles. They are. A lot of times people choreographically enmesh both of them together. But they're different styles, different communities, different in culture, different in history. So for me, that would be my big note that I would give them. I wouldn't count that as quite a diss because it feels like they're not actually competing against Mannequeen. I think that diss would have been more appropriate for Lady Bounce because Vessi dives more into Vogue with them. So that's just kind of my overall note. Not saying that what they brought was bad. Not at all. I just don't think it was pointed at Mannequeen, and the whole point is you want to diss them. And I think that the other disses outside of that, including the Sarah leg, remember we've already seen it when Leah did it for the freestyle battle. She was very unstable when she did it. During section 1, we already saw that be a main feature, was that Sarah leg balance, and it was slightly off there too. And so seeing it again here, just more abbreviated, I really feel that we could have done something different. Personally, I understand why they did it. Maybe it's good that they shortened it, but I feel like we're teetering on beating a dead horse on that particular diss, and that could honestly backfire on the diss itself, because if it feels like if that's really the only thing you can come up with that's negative or that you can diss about Mannequeen, then how does that make them look? Does that make sense? Like the caliber of what they brought to the table. It's little things like that. The framing of this was so nice, very clear this time. Energy's very big, clean. Yeah, so just with the arm swings, I will say a note about this. It is not clear how Leah is transitioning between her technique here. It feels like, you know, she is trying to integrate some micro ticking waves up through the legs, but it's not translating through the body at all. So it feels very disconnected between her lower half and her upper half. But I know she's trying to create more of like a really staccato, really intricate ticking, not quite ticking, just like vibrationary body waves transition from one side to the other. It is not reading as well as I think it could with that particular technique that I see on this side. But the context before and after was great. I really love that transition with her arms out. That looked just as good as I saw in the camera work. I think this run was better than what they did for the camera, and I'm glad that it did. This was nice. That power, the energy's way better here. Obviously, because we got an audience, right? And this is honestly really hard to maintain this level of energy, and note that they are in bodysuits. They are not wearing sleeves or anything backing the upper body, so it is hard to present a really strong posture in some of the stuff when you normally carry a more feminine pocket or a pocket that is not quite like this. So I do give them credit for that. That right there, I know she was trying to frame it up. Of course, they did the kick again here. But that was fun. It was short and sweet. It was good. I love that ding, 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 ding to the drop. I like this here. Now I know a lot of you have already told me. I know with them, specifically with Reddy, I know Reddy has had Vogue training before. I know this. I know this. I know that's why they made this choice. But it goes back to my previous point. Mannequeen is not a Vogue crew. They focus more on heels, choreography, and whacking. Whacking is different than Vogue. So that's why I'm going to be picky about that. And that's why I'm saying this is not as justifiable to pursue Vogue in this realm, even though it's a feminine style that naturally collaborates with whacking and is not the same thing. So that's why I say the vote that I do about that. Does it discredit? I love what they do. But remember, it's a diss battle between their crew. It just feels like they're not as familiar with what they're doing as much as they could be. This right here, I love that. That's super cool. I love that, but also that's a Vogue element. Like you see that way more in Vogue, but I know you can see it in whacking, but you see it more in Vogue. But that was super fun, very engaging, and it's impressive. And they pull it. This is where you get a lot of the diss here. They clean this up a lot better because I made notes about this part with the hip dropping. One of them was super stagnant on it in comparison to the others. But I really like the fact they really toned it more in cohesion with each other. That's so fun. I do like this diss sequence. Yeah, you just notice everybody's energy is the same there. That's exactly what they needed. That really is what they needed. I really do feel that way. Now with Mannequeen, their set was phenom. What I saw with the hoop, it was so stable, and that's something you have to have when you operate with a prop like this. You can't bobble, you can't show that you're struggling with your balance, because it's going to take away from the captivation of your prop, really. So this right here was great, but look right there. You got to take a look that Sarah is not balanced here. That could factor into the fact that she just battled and she was phenomenal in what she brought. But because we saw her so stable there, it does feel a little bit off the fact that she's not as stable here. Just look, ready? Yeah, and you can just tell based on how she's maintaining her balance. It's minor, but you can see it, because I did see it with the camera work. She was strong, stable as a rock, you know. But they still hit everything the way it needed to. This right here was still super strong, just like it was before. I love that. Yeah, so you can see it more whenever it's in the small screen. You can see it a little bit better. Yeah. That right there was nice, but then when you look there, her foot got caught on the hoop. That's another strike from the hoop for Sarah. That right there was a beautiful camera transition they used there, but it's so unfortunate that she got caught near the tail end on that foot, but she still maintained her energy. That was so strong, and they immediately walked around. This is so strong. That is so strong. It is sexy. It matches the music. It matches the energy, and they're doing a freaking great job of it. They're down. Unison here. I love that. It's just clean. That section's really clean. I love how chill they are in their room. Like, some of them are just like sitting on the floor. That right there. Dynamic right there. God, it's gorgeous. I loved it the first time and I love it here. Really strong. I'm so glad that they pulled it out here. This right here, loved it, brought it down. Waxy was more stable here than she was in the camera, and I love the fact she did that. Love that. And then here, they got her up in the split. Very, very strong. I'm so glad they finished the way that they did. Yeah. So I would say for this one, it's more of a closer call than it was when I watched it for the global voting comparison. I think Mannequeen blew 1MILL out of the water on the camera work here. I think 1MILL fought way harder. I think that freestyle Sarah decimated. It was phenom what she brought. I think here, I really think Mannequeen, they did have a harder prop that they were working with. Of course, with 1MILL, they didn't really do it. The dissing, I feel like 1MILL contributed more disses in this section, but Mannequeen contributed more disses in the first section. So it's all in all who, you know, I'm assuming that they did a vote on who they thought out of both. I mean, I feel like it's a toss-up for me as a fight judge section 2. If I were to fight judge section 2, I would have given it to Mannequeen. Here, it's a toss-up. Section 1, I would have probably still given it to Mannequeen, you know? So I kind of feel, I don't know. I mean, I guess my vote, I mean, because I've also compared, if I'm using all of the information I've given, I think Mannequeen put up a stronger fight compared to 1MILL, but I think 1MILL had certain elements that I really did enjoy. And I think that they were very strong. I do think that 1MILL has an advantage over the audience because of their popularity, you know, and I do know that there's a chance, I think that they got that vote. And with the global votes, I know 1MILL has a stronger pull internationally as well. So Mannequeen, I'm hopeful that they pulled out a fight judge win. I think that's what happened, because I really, you know, for me, ideal world, I definitely feel like Mannequeen has been consistent enough to have a spot in the finals. I really feel that way. 1MILL, I will be shocked if they're not in finals because of their ranking in the Hwasa mission, and I know Mannequeen ranked last, I think is what happened in the Hwasa mission, which is not a good start. And I'm very, very fearful that they may be seeing an elimination without even an attempt at being battled, or we're battling for a spot. And I really am pulling for Mannequeen to get enough votes to at least battle, because I feel like out of any crew that could make it into finals with battles, it would be them. But you know, I don't know how the cards are gonna lie. We're gonna have to wait another week, and I know we have a whole trailer to look at too, and it's gonna have some some interesting things go on with that too. But this was a very good mashup. I will say though, this one had the most mistakes out of the sections. I think that, you know, with 1MILLION and Mannequeen, especially section 1, had the most big mistakes out of all the crew lineups, which was very surprising to me, you know, especially considering the fluency of those crews that are up against. They're very high quality, both of them are, you know, but it happens. Everyone's human, and that's just what happens. But I am freaking floored at just the caliber of this entire challenge. I think it was incredible, and I am so thankful to be in the position to be able to watch this, analyze it, and be in discussions with all of you guys. This was incredible. Thank you for all of this. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I know with these particular reactions, I am focusing more on other aspects outside of just the content. I am comparing the analytical version of what I watched with the camera only versus the live and how things have changed. And I know a lot of you have done the same. And honestly, I feel like with some of my votes, it kind of is up in the air because of different factors and different aspects outside of just the content we're watching. But I'm really thankful for the fact that I'm able to do these, be able to discuss alongside you guys, and be able to interact with everybody in the community, both on YouTube and on Patreon. It is all so humbling for me of the fact that I'm in a position where I can actually contribute anything helpful for others who enjoy the show just like myself. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.